Hello, hello, hello. This is Gerald Salenti, and it's January 6th, 2022. And here are some of today's trends in the news. By the way, that opening, that's my office. And I take care of all the plants there. The plants up here, the plants over there, the plants over there. I surround myself with beauty as an antidote to all the crap around us. And the crap heads, well, I should be more proper, shitheads, that keep dumping it on us in a country near you. So, on the market front, stocks fell on Thursday following the massive tech sell-off in the previous session. Yeah, the Dow was down 170, and the NASDAQ and the S&P down just 0.1%. Rate-sensitive stocks gained after minutes from the Federal Reserve's December meeting revealed the central bank is getting ready to remove its economic help more quickly than anticipated. Economic help.
Bullshit.
Economic help to get the rich richer, to give all the money to the bigs for no interest, real interest rates, so they could keep buying up everything. And the markets could be artificially inflated. Help. Yeah. Anyway, officials discussed reducing the Fed's balance sheet in another move to dial back its pandemic-era easy monetary policy. Federal officials, official pieces of shit. I am so fucking tired. An official, a dignitary, an expert. Fuck off. What crap they keep shoving down our throats. Calm down, Salenti. They're officials. Salute them. Yeah, here's a salute. A salute. Anyway, so what you got over here is the initial claims to unemployment insurance was 207,000. For the week ending January 1st, they anticipated 195,000. And you saw those people that are quitting jobs, well, over 4 million, but that we won't talk about that because they don't want those shitty jobs. So, Fed eyes potential March increase in rates. Front page of today's Wall Street Journal. Go back to your Trends Journal. We said they would raise them by March, while everybody was saying mid-year, because it's a fraud game. That's all this is, and they keep putting out the bullshit to get people believing in what they're selling. So here's the deal. They got to keep the markets inflated, as Gregory Mannarino continues to point out, as do I. Because when the markets crash, then the imbeciles and morons will know how bad conditions are for the average person, and the average keeps going lower, while the rich keep getting richer. I gave you the numbers of the billionaires getting $1 trillion richer this year. Isn't that nice? And they give shit back. Shit. So, these raises of rates aren't going to make a big difference in the equity markets because with inflation going up, you actually have negative interest rates. So if you have an inflation rate, the official one from the official pieces of shit at 6.8%, and you have a 0.25 or 0.50 inflation interest rate, you have negative rates. So you're going to raise them, but I'm going to tell you what's going to go down. The housing market. It's not going to crash, but it's going to soften when rates go higher. When you get that interest rate going into the 4% range for mortgages, oil prices rose sharply on Thursday, extending a rally from the previous session on escalating unrest in Kazakhstan and supply outages in Libya. Oh yeah, Libya. You know, the Nobel Peace of Crap Prize winner, Barack Obama. I want that guy Gaddafi out of there. Oh yeah, destroyed Libya. the richest country in Africa. And all the libtards love the lion murderer. I'm really good at killing people, he's quoted in the book Double Down. So Libya's a shit show, and so too is Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan. Stan means home of the Krizaks, home of the Uzbeks, home of the Afghans. In America, we're living in dumb fuckistan, the home of the dumb fucks. Look at the dumb fucks, turn on the TV. No, look at, you like Mitch McConnell? No, Biden's my kind of guy. Trump you. Yep, a freak show. Anyway, last year oil averaged about $70 a barrel. This year they're looking at over almost $90. 88 JP Morgan came out with. Those are $90. Think of inflation and what that's going to do for the average person. When you got dough, you don't look at how much the gas costs when you put it in your car. Because most of the time you got somebody driving you, the rich people. So this is going to hurt if these prices continue to stay high. And gold went down because they're going to be raising interest rates. And when your treasury yield goes up and your interest rates go up and gold is a non-interest paying asset, you see more money going into these other areas. So gold took another hit today. But go back to inflation. Gold and silver took another hit. It was down, it was down almost 3%. It's 22 and change. They're safe haven assets for inflation. So yes, as I see it, they're going to go down when interest rates go up. But when interest rates go up, the economy is going to go down. And you look what happens when the economy crashes and goes down. Look where gold goes and silver goes. All you have to do is go back to the panic of '08 to see the reality. Oh, and lumber prices. They now hit a 7-month high. The lumber futures jumped 3.8%, talking about inflation. Oh, this guy, WeWork co-founder, snaps up apartments. And $1 billion, they're buying 4,000 apartments valued at more than $1 billion in Miami, Atlanta, Nashville, Tennessee, Fort Lauderdale. I'm mentioning this because we've been writing about this in the Trends Journal. Lumber prices went up. That means the lumber prices alone have jumped about $18,500 into the average home. That's how much the increase is. So the average person can't afford to spend about $353,000 for an average home. So they're going to be going into more apartments. And the Bigs, the Blackstones, they're buying up apartments for the plantation workers of Slavelandia. Yeah. Here, go to work. Hey, go home. We don't have to house you. We don't have to feed you. Go home. Get out of here. Go home and eat crap, live like shit, and get back to work in the morning. So the Bigs are buying up the apartments all around the country. Again, we mention this also as entrepreneur opportunities and where things are going. Major cruise lines like Royal Caribbean are canceling sailings amid the Omicron crisis, and it's a signal the industry's troubles are far from over. I'm mentioning that because that came out today. We've been saying, how many times have you heard me say, what a bunch of bullshit, these cruise lines and airlines and other hospitality sector stocks going up. What bullshit. And now the bullshit is real. It's always been real, but they lie about it and they keep pumping it up. They get the suckers to play in and then they bail out. Very important. Chinese brands gain in sportswear market. I'm not going to go into the details, go more in the Trends Journal. We've been saying this was going to happen. It's the Chinese way. They don't want anything from the West anymore. The West isn't cool anymore. It ain't hip, it ain't hot. It's big and dumpy. They don't want the brands there for a lot of reasons. So they got 1.4 billion people. They don't need to buy Nike or Calvin Klein or anybody, whatever the top ones are these days. They got their own brands, and it's going to keep going in that direction. Foreign banks sample cryptocurrencies. We're going to be doing a lot more of that in the Trends Journal. Fight for dominance heats up in digital currencies. This is from the Financial Times, by the way. And so we're doing a lot on that. Oh, Bitcoin took a hit. It's down in the 42,000 range, but it's still very strong as we see it. Banks put return to office on hold. As the new year begins, Wall Street bankers find themselves in a familiar spot, working at home. Wall Street firms, particularly J.P. Morgan and Goldman, again, we were writing about this as it's going on, were aggressive last year about bringing workers back to the office. The reason they're aggressive about it is because they're very heavily invested in the commercial real estate market. And you have office occupancy rates at best at 40%. That was before the Omicron scare. So now in New York, you got about a 30% office occupancy rate. These banksters are very heavily invested in that. And they got a lot of loans, too, from the people that own the places. So they're the ones that are pushing for people to go back to work. But the people are freaked out. But again, you know my forecast. The COVID war is going to wind down around April because it's hurting too many. Enough of it already. And so it's going to be the next thing, the big thing is going to be climate change. They're going to get off COVID war. It's going to be climate change every day. Macy's asks employees for status of vaccines. Great. Now they got to close early because they don't have enough people. And Starbucks mandates vaccines or weekly COVID tests for staff. I mentioned you already have people quitting their jobs. This is going to make a bad situation worse. And the dictates of people telling you have to do this, to me, is disgusting. Because, again, only going by the facts, and I've been going over them and over them and over them, the people that are getting vaxxed are getting the virus. And the bullshit line they keep throwing out was, oh, if I didn't get the virus, if I didn't get the vaccination, I'd be a lot sicker. Even though they're getting very sick, like that little shithead guy, Jeffrey Rich or whatever his name is. I thought he was going to die. I thought he was going to die. And everybody was vaccinated, tested, and boosted. And again, not a word about the bullshit of the Pfizer gang and the other ones selling us the 94% efficacy rate, or fuckface Fauci lying about 70% herd immunity. More schools shut, go online as virus fuels staff shortage. This is very big. It's going to be, again, interactive view. We're going to go into a new education system. The metaverse is real. It's one of our top trends for 2022. You're going to see a lot of changes going on. This is just the beginning of it. There are a lot of entrepreneur opportunities. And again, subscribe to the Trends Journal at trendsjournal.com, trendsjournal.com. There's no magazine like it. Read history before it happens and support what we're doing. And again, you're going to support yourself. Because oh, by the way, I'm on Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Please go and see it. It's another, I'm so honored to be on with him. The man is a genius in his field. And so if you go to Rich Dad channel, we just went up yesterday. So it's a great interview. Okay, Paris. The government on Wednesday defended President Emmanuel Macron's use of coarse language in a stepped-up campaign against France's unvaccinated. Imagine this, a campaign against the unvaccinated. Macron said he wanted to piss off unvaccinated people. Maybe somebody should piss on Macron. Could you imagine that little fucking prick being man-to-man and giving somebody an order? He wouldn't know whether to shit or piss when you call him out. Piss on Macron. You pissed off? Piss on Macron, the little catzone, the little Rothschild's arrogant boy. He also called unvaccinated people irresponsible and unworthy of being considered citizens. Could you imagine this? Could you imagine this? An Operation Warp Speed gene therapy inoculation. And people have hesitancy about it. Why, how dare you? The spokesman, Gabriel Attal, spokesman shithead, said that amid the supersonic rise of COVID cases, the government stood by Catson's comments. Who is pissing off who today? It's those who refuse the vaccine. See, they can use this word, but Celente can say, fuck you, don't you talk to me like this. Oh no, Mr. Celente, that's an official shithead speaking the language of the president. The president. Roll out the red carpet. Roll out the red carpet. People who got jabs are exasperated with the unvaccinated, Prime Minister Jean Castex said. Exasperated. A fuckface, if the jab worked and they were so safe, why are you complaining if you're vaccinated? If you're vaccinated, you're safe. So what are you talking about? Oh, and by the way, you ready? Nearly 90% of those aged 12 have now been inoculated, one of the continent's highest COVID-19 vaccination rates, when they told us, where's herd immunity at 90%? And if you're vaccinated, you're safe. Why are you bothering these other people that don't want to get vaccinated? Well, because I'm the prime minister. I am the president. All right? All aboard. Yep. British billionaire Richard Branson said today he was recovering from a case of coronavirus, along with his wife and other family members, after they tested positive for the Omicron variant. Friends and family, including myself, my wife Joan, recently caught Omicron. Thanks to all being vaccinated and boosted, our symptoms have been mild. That's the shit they keep putting out. Hey, fuck ass, if you got vaccinated, you shouldn't be getting sick. And again, the numbers that they're putting out, yeah. You got here, CDC panel backs boosters for ages 12 to 15. This is today's Wall Street Journal. Okay. Age to 15, right? Let's take a look here. In Germany, out of 5.8 million French children, 5 to 11, between March of 2020, when the COVID war began, to mid-December, the grand total of 3 deaths. 3 deaths of children 5 to 11. 3 deaths out of 6 million people. The United States, what do we got? 61% of teenagers hospitalized with COVID-19 had severe obesity, according to the Centers for Disease Control. That said, about 600 Americans under the age of 18 have died of COVID during the pandemic. This is the way they write it. Okay, 600 out of how many? 71 million. Almost over 2 years. 300 people a year dying out of 71 million, and you're vaccinating them? What am I missing here? I'm not good at math, but, and 61% had obesity. Cities with masks, vaccine mandates seeking huge COVID-19 spike anyway. Oh, this is from Yahoo, so it must be real. New York City, blah, 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 one after another. So, all of the fear that they're selling, but why, if you're vaccinated, you're safe. So now, you look at the data here. All the fear that they're selling. As of January 5th, yesterday, the 7-day average of deaths, COVID deaths, was 1,321. You can look this up. Put U.S. COVID death rate. The 7-day average on January 5th, 2021, 2,200 and 65. Double last year than now, and they're selling the Omicron fear. But nobody talks about this. And a lot more things going on here. Israel's going to build, they okay for 3,500 new settler homes in East Jerusalem, stealing the land. It's against international law, but it's okay. They're doing it, just like it's okay that bombs away over there in Yemen as the Saudis are slaughtering the Houthis. Oh, yeah, but the Houthis are backed by the Iranians. Again, all the details in your Trends Journal. And then bases are attacked in Syria and Iraq. Rockets and indirect fire targeting bases in U.S.-led coalition forces in Iraq and Syria. At least 3 attacks on Wednesday, the 3rd day in a row. What the hell is America doing in Syria and Iraq? Get the hell out of there. No, I think maybe we'll go back to Afghanistan. We did such a great job over there. Anyway, there you got it. That's just some of today's trends in the news. You're going to come out with a new Trends Journal coming out on Tuesday. And there's no magazine like it. Do what you can to support us and support yourself, because you won't find this information anywhere. And, of course, for your religious vaccine exemption, the Universal Church of Freedom, Peace, and Just Us. Thanks for tuning in. See you soon. The COVID-19 war has changed the world, but who's prepared? What's next? It's in your Trends Journal. Trends Journal subscribers are prepared. Subscribe to the Trends Journal. Read history before it happens. From the world leader in trend forecasting.